Ovid wrote something 2,000 years ago that still cuts through the noise today. The high-spirited man may indeed die, but he will not stoop to meanness. Fire, though it may be quenched, will not become cool. Meanness isn't just being rude or unkind. Meanness is what happens when a person forgets to stoke their own fire because they spent all their energy trying to extinguish yours. It's not random or just how some people are. Meanness is separation behaviour. It's the belief that resources are finite, love is scarce, and someone else's gain is automatically your loss. But what if that geometry is wrong? Meanness doesn't always look cruel. Sometimes it manifests as withholding praise because giving it might make you smaller. Correcting someone's grammar in an argument instead of addressing their point. The silent treatment, not as a boundary, but as punishment. Petty scorekeeping, one-upmanship. Generosity with a receipt. Gifts that come with invisible invoices. Like most unexamined defences, meanness is often fear in disguise. It's the protective contraction of a self that believes it's under threat. But here's what's worth understanding. Meanness costs the giver more than the receiver. To withhold warmth, you have to freeze yourself. To diminish another, you have to first calculate their value, which means you've already placed yourself on the same measuring scale. You don't escape the comparison, you just become the one keeping score. Generosity isn't about giving things away. It's about nervous system capacity. When you feel internally resourced, another person's success doesn't threaten you. Altruism emerges naturally when you're not in survival mode, when you don't see life as a zero-sum game, when you trust your own sufficiency. Goodwill is the background assumption that there is enough for all of us. When meanness dissolves, it's not because you forced yourself to be kind, it's because you no longer feel endangered. Meanness is a closed fist. It protects, it defends, and it contracts. But a closed fist cannot receive. Generosity is an open hand, not naive, not exposed, simply willing. An open hand can give, it can receive, and it can rest. Strength isn't the tightest grip, it's the capacity to open without fear. If you recognize meanness in yourself, not as an accusation but as data, I invite you to be curious. Instead of stuffing it down, you might ask, why did you feel threatened? When did you believe there wasn't enough? What taught you that giving costs you? Where did you receive the message that your worth is measured by what you keep, not what you circulate? You don't need to dwell in those answers, just notice them. And then perhaps experiment with one small act of goodwill. Nothing drastic, nothing performative. Just a quiet word of encouragement, acknowledging someone's effort, allowing someone else to shine without needing to dim yourself. Generosity expands identity. It doesn't lessen it. And as you sit with these words, you might notice something shift. Not a decision, not an effort, just a recognition that you have been holding your flame too close, protecting it, afraid it might go out. But fire isn't like that. Fire doesn't diminish by meeting other fire. It amplifies. So perhaps in this moment, you can let your hand open just slightly, not to give anything away, just to remember what it feels like to let warmth move. You don't need to become generous. You already are. You just forgot the physics, and now you're remembering.